All right, lock in here, chat. Dear David, Twitter haunting.
Over a week ago, the internet became fascinated with something rather strange that was unfolding on Twitter. A writer and illustrator by the name of Adam Ellis posted
His name is Moby_Cad.
claim that he was being haunted by the spirit of a dead child. The following is his story.
See, now I don't know if I'm going to be able to believe this. His username is Moby_Cad. I don't like, am I really... Moby_Cad said he was haunted.
7th. My apartment is currently being haunted by the ghost of a dead child, and he's trying to kill me. He started appearing in dreams, but I think he's crossed over into the real world now. The first time I saw him, I was experiencing sleep paralysis and saw a child sitting in the green rocking chair at the foot of my bed. He had a huge, misshapen head.
You wake up, your sleep paralysis demon is this, kid. Nah.
That was dented on.
Don't laugh. Dude, what do you... I'm not making fun of him. Dude, it looks like he doesn't even have a skull. It looks like just like a brain.
I did my best to draw it.
Joe's laughing at dead kids. The odds of this being a real story is 1 in a fucking million, right? And even so, I'm not laughing at the dead kid. I'm saying, imagine you're in sleep paralysis, you wake up, and like this picture is just come to life, and he's just staring at you.
I did my best to draw it. For a while, he just stared at me, but then he got out of the chair and started shambling towards the bed.
Bruh, I'm gonna whack him in the fucking skull with a bat. I'm gonna flatten the other side.
I couldn't move because I was paralyzed. I have sleep paralysis fairly often, and it sucks. Right before he reached my bed, I woke up screaming. I had another dream a few nights later where I was in a library and a girl came up to me and said, "You've seen Dear David, haven't you?" I asked...
I wouldn't sleep. I would start doing meth. But you're telling me I have vivid dreams where they're like, "You've seen Dear David." I'd say, all right, I'm either moving or I'm going to start doing like Adderall, like all the time. Or just get really high, because then you don't remember your dreams. I have a fucking sleep paralysis demon. And they're like, "You've seen Dear David." Every night before bed, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not seeing your bitch ass." I just pass out. I'm not going to fucking remember it.
"Dear David, you saw him." She continued.
He starts nudging me. David's like, "Wake up. Wake up. I need to scare you." I'm just like, nah. Nah.
"He's dead. He only appears at midnight, and you can ask him 2 questions if you said Dear David first." Then she added, "But never try to ask him a 3rd question, or he'll kill you."
Bro, you can't tell me that. If I'm in this scenario, don't ask him the 3rd question. He'll kill you. Really? Really?
Then David came back in another dream. Same situation. I was in bed, and he was sitting at the rocking chair near the window, staring at me. In the dream, I say, "Dear David, how did you die?" He mumbles, "An accident in a store."
Yeah, one of the pecans on the top shelf probably fucking fell on his skull.
I say,
Hit the soft spot.
"Dear David, what happened in the store?" He groans. "A shelf was pushed on my head."
A king-sized can of Bush's baked beans fell on my skull.
I'm frozen with fear.
Oh! Yo, are you fucking kidding me? Yo, he asked the 3rd question.
"Who pushed the shelf?" David doesn't answer. I realize that I've asked a 3rd question, which I'm not supposed to do. At that point, I wake up.
Yo, double down and ask a fucking 4th.
Absolutely terrified. Over the next couple days, I googled deaths in the city, but I can't find anything about a kid named David dying in a store. I even tried different names: Daniel, Dylan, Devin. Nothing. A few weeks go by without incident.
Which ninja kid summoned David? Nah, that is a fucking niche joke. Yo, Mateo's a fucking dub for that. Which ninja kid summoned David? Wasn't me. I definitely wouldn't do that. Ding. It was me. I summoned David.
Sort of randomly, the apartment above mine is vacated, and I have the opportunity to move into it. It's a larger apartment, so I'm thrilled. Another month or 2 goes by, and I sort of forget about Dear David. I think he lost track of me because I moved upstairs. But lately something strange is happening. For the past 4 nights, my cats gather at the front door at exactly midnight and just stare at it. Almost like something is on the other side. Last night, I got a weird feeling and looked out the peephole, and I'm dead certain I saw movement on the other side. When I opened the door and turned on the hall light, nothing was there, but my cat seemed unnerved, bushy tails, etc. And that's where I am right now. Dear David found me, I think. I don't know what to do, but I'll keep you updated. Update. For the 6th night in a row...
My 2 questions. Dear David, do you have ligma? Response. What's ligma? No fucking way.
My cat has walked over to the door promptly at midnight and stared at it. What is going on?
Like he couldn't show his iPhone fucking clock? What the hell is this? Like that? Like, see, that annoys me. Like, dude, this is an old video, right? 5 years ago. You're telling me 2017, the only other clock you have in your fucking thing is something that you could just manipulate? So you gave your cat a fucking edible. What the fuck is he doing?
Okay, so I took a photo through the peephole because
Alright, that is mad creepy. Alright, that is mad creepy. No, that is kind of creepy. Now I feel bad for making fun of David. David, I'm sorry. Dear David, I am sorry, man. Please do not haunt me in my dreams.
To open the door. I feel like I saw something. I couldn't tell, so I mustered up the courage to open the door.
Crazy how I'm just going to eat a 10 milligram edible tonight, and he's not going to be able to fucking haunt me because I won't remember what my dream was. Fuck you, David. You stupid bitch. I take that back.
Nothing was out there, but I took another photo.
You heard they started selling pizza at Wendy's, David? Oh my god. No way.
Is it just me, or is there something in the first photo?
Said a 10 milligram. Yeah, you just fucking sleep with a 10 milligram, bro.
Right where the banister meets the shelves, hiding in the stairs. I wasn't sure if it was a smudge or something like that, so I took a second photo from inside. There was something out there. I deadbolted the door and got in bed because I don't know what else to do. I can still hear my cat meowing at the door. I'm pretty scared.
Move apartment complexes. Live somewhere else.
This initial thread was posted between August 7th and August 8th, and on the next day, August 9th, Adam posted the following. Good morning. I thought I'd clarify a couple things for new followers. First of all, I am alive. Secondly, I've tested the apartment for carbon monoxide, so I know I'm not being slowly poisoned. Last, I do have a book coming out next year, but it has nothing to do with David. This isn't viral marketing, it's just a book of funny comics. So I hope that clears things up. I'll keep you all updated should more weird stuff occur. Later, Adam returns again, this time saying he's downloaded a sleep talk app to see if he can manage to record anything strange. He also posts yet another picture of his cats monitoring the door, which he says has become routine at this point. The next morning on August 10th, David says that the sleep app picked up way too much noise the night before, and that he was going to try playing with the settings to see if it would help. Later that night, he posts more pictures and videos of his cats at the door just before midnight, as expected. August 11th. We're once again given more updates from Adam. I used a sound app to record my apartment last night. It makes individual recordings each time it hears something. There were 33 recordings. Most of them are pretty vague. A couple of them are passing cars and such, but there are 3 that I'm actually interested in. The first one is a snapping sound and what seems like a single step. It's odd because I didn't get out of bed all night.
Bro, why don't you just film yourself? Like, sleep. Like, am I fucking an idiot here, or just put a fucking camera and film yourself sleep? Some stupid ass fucking sleeping app. Get a goddamn camera. Film yourself. You see something move in the room, your house is fucking haunted.
This one is weird because out of 33 recordings, this is the only one that has that strange electric sound throughout.
First name is Adam Todd. Like, is that definitive of anything though? Just squeaking noises? Now, if it was like a fucking audio recording, David was like, I see you, I'd fucking shit myself.
This directly follows the electric static. Another snap, and then I groan in my sleep. These happen between 2 to 3 in the morning. I have no explanation for them. I'll keep recording and share if I find anything curious.
Dude, Brooke sleep talks so much, it's fucking terrifying. The last, like, 3 times I've been with her, bro, she'll wake up in the middle of the night and, like, shake me. And I'll be like, what? She's like, where are we? I'm like, what? And then she'll just lay back down and pass out. And it's the weirdest thing ever. Dude, the first time she ever did it was 3 months into us dating. 3 months into us dating, we're sitting there, or like we're asleep, and I'm like kind of laying on my side. And she just sits up and like borderline screeches. Like, ah, and sits up, right? And she's just sitting there. And I'm like looking at her like genuinely terrified that my girlfriend is fucking possessed. I like shake her awake and she gets mad at me. And she's like, what? I'm like, what the fuck was that? And she had no idea what I was talking about. But like now, dude, the last time I was with her, she literally woke up 3 times in the middle of the night, and every time was just like, where am I? But doesn't remember it. I'm like, what do you... And so I'm assuming she's having a dream where she's like confused, but her eyes are open, right? Like she's looking at me. But like, have you ever talked to somebody that's sleep talking? It's kind of like a glaze over their eyes. Like they're not comprehending. It's like almost like when somebody's blackout drunk. Like blackout drunk or sleep talking. You like talk to them and they kind of just stare at you like this. Like they're not processing what you're saying to them. They're just outputting information. And so I'll say something to her and then she just goes back to sleep. And so now it's gotten to the point where like I'll just ignore her because I know she's asleep. Because I'll wake up and she asks me like the dumbest fucking question. She'll be like, where am I? And I'm like, and I just act like I'm out. And then she'll just lay back down and go to bed. Bro, because she sleep talks like every night.
After this, Adam posts a few tweets saying that he's going to be out of town.
Record it and show her? I'm not going to be able to record it because it's like, it's random, right? It's not like a scheduled thing. It'll be like 2 a.m. one night, 5 a.m. the next night. Dude, even like 7. Sometimes she'll just talk to herself. And then sometimes she'll like move towards me and say something to me.
For the weekend, and that in the meantime, he's gathered up supplies for when he returns.
A fucking Ouija board.
Things like sage, stones, and a Ouija board. August 13th, Adam has returned home and begins updating us once again. So, a weird thing just happened. Take it with a grain of salt. I bought a Polaroid camera this weekend.
About an Insta Mini 9.
Fun and dorky, and I decided to take a few photos around my apartment. Polaroids are stupid and fun and inherently...
Polaroids are cool as hell, and they captivate memories, and if you have a Polaroid, you should use it. Look at that, Daisy. And you just can fucking you can document your life and the fun moments in your life.
Sort of creepy. I didn't expect to find anything, and for the most part, I didn't. I took a couple of my living room and my bedroom. That's the rocking chair where I first saw David. They're pretty unremarkable. Then I went into the hallway and snapped a photo. The Polaroid developed completely black. I even ripped open and destroyed a fresh pack just to see if it was an undeveloped Polaroid, but they start out white. I also thought that maybe I accidentally covered the lens with my fingers, so I took a photo while intentionally covering it. The photo on the left is me covering the lens with my finger. The one on the right is my fully lit hallway taken just after midnight. Okay, so...
Like, you can't prove that, though.
One last thing, because I wanted to double check. Here's a couple of videos...
Okay, never mind, he can.
...of me taking the photos.
Okay, never mind, he can prove it.
Okay, here's my living room. I'll leave that there. Okay, now I'm gonna take a photo of the hallway.
Yeah, dude's got like 7 fucking locks on his goddamn door.
What that's like.
But he's waiting for the purge. But it's just going to be a jump cut to the photo. Like, I'd film that shit while it develops.
And
damn,
as
that
you
one
can
developed
see,
fast
the
as
first
fuck.
one has already developed.
How did that one develop that fast,
Let's
dude?
see
Normally
what
it takes
this
like
one
fucking...
does.
Normally it takes like 30 fucking minutes. Yo, he got the grippers out and
It's gonna take a
everything
minute.
too, bruh.
Picture of the
It's just
hallway.
dark.
Adam tries taking another picture of the hallway just to make sure, and according to him, it came out black yet again. Honestly, I don't know why I'm still fucking around with this camera. There might be a logical explanation. Someone told me to take photos from farther away, so I tried that. Once with my iPhone and once with the Polaroid. Left is with my phone, right is with Polaroid. The hall light was on both times. Why is it pitch black each time with the Polaroid?
I mean, is there a logical... Yeah, that is kind of creepy. But why would a Polaroid... Why would an iPhone capture it and a Polaroid wouldn't?
Why is it pitch black each time with the Polaroid?
Yeah, that is really creepy.
August 14th.
Bro's burning incense.
Adam posts images of himself using the sage he ordered to
Oh,
cleanse
it's
his
sage. I thought it was incense.
apartment, making sure not to miss the hallway and rocking chair. He updates us a few more times saying that the sage doesn't seem to help and that he barely slept the night before, and said that he kept waking up feeling like something was wrong. August 15th. Sage didn't work. I haven't dreamed about David in a few months, but he appeared again last night. In the dream, my bedroom was filled with hazy smoke, but I could see David sitting on the chair across the room. He was smaller this time, almost shrunken. He didn't do anything except look at me. Anyway, I feel like it's a bad omen. August 16th. Apparently strange faces have been showing up in some of the photos I take.
What?
A couple people have pointed this out, which I don't have a real explanation for. There's also this, which seems less weird, but still odd that it resembles David.
Bitch, that looks like fucking absolutely nothing. Is that David? Is that his eyes and his fucking nose?
The second one doesn't alarm me so much, since it seems like it might just be a reflection.
David looks like a fucking Wii character.
But that first one gives me the creeps.
I would say the other one is actually scarier. This one is fucking indiscernible.
At the time of recording this video, these are the last updates we received from Adam.
Fuck! I need to see a comment update. A bearded guy living in New York taking a cell phone picture of a Polaroid picture. I think we just hit peak hipster. He is a writer, and this seems too well constructed to be true. That's what I'm saying. There's a part 2. Updates? Oh, this is 27 minutes, bro. Dashing for the sub. We'll skip around this one. Biggie for the sub.
She felt unsafe in my own home. On Friday night, there was supposed to be a huge storm. In the end, it passed, but that night was bizarre anyway. I fell asleep pretty early. I was incredibly tired for some reason. I had a dream that night where
This is a crazy story, though.
I'm not sure why I didn't fight back in the dream or how he was even strong enough to pull me, but that's dream logic for you. It was...
Bro, can I go grab a snack? I'm gonna go grab a snack if we're gonna finish this. I got a protein bar and gummies.
a creepy dream, but I didn't think much of it when I woke up. I took a shower and then I noticed something. I'd woken up with a huge bruise on my arm. Now look, maybe I injured myself the day before and my arm was hurting during the night, which manifested as a dream. There could totally be a logical explanation for it, so I brushed it off. I went to get coffee, which I do every weekend. When I walk to the coffee place, I always pass a food cart repair depot. It's always incredibly busy, especially on weekends. I've lived in this neighborhood for over 4 years, and the place has always been jam-packed with carts getting serviced. But today it was completely abandoned. The whole warehouse was totally gutted and empty. Well, almost empty. I went inside to look around because I was astonished that this place was suddenly empty after all these years. Basically, the only thing in the entire warehouse was a single green chair.
Oh! Oh!
On my way back from coffee, the warehouse had been
But why is nobody at the warehouse anymore?
shuttered. It's remained shuttered since. The chair, my bruise, dreaming about an empty warehouse and then passing by one, it gave me the creeps. Needless to say, I didn't sleep much that night. Too many strange things are happening, and more frequently. So, I don't know. Anyway, it was a strange weekend. August 25th. There have been a few small developments in my apartment, but I'm not really sure what to make of them. I just know I'm scared. If you recall, my cats usually gather at the door at midnight, but lately it's been getting earlier and earlier every night. I was almost used to routine, so when they started to cry at the door closer to 10 p.m., I was confused. They began a new routine. Hover around the door at 10 p.m., cry for about 15 minutes, and wander off as if nothing's wrong. But this week something else has been happening. Shortly after the usual cat stuff, around 10:30 or so, I start getting phone calls from an unmarked number. My entire call history for the past week looks like this.
Right, but a call from an unmarked number, dude, it's not David calling you. Like, it's not, okay, like, that's a bit of a stretch, right? To say that the dead David is calling you.
Notice that I answered once, yesterday. Since this has been happening for days on end, I thought it might be an automated telemarketer or something. Usually, if it's an automated thing, if you answer once, they quit calling, so I picked up. I didn't say anything. I just listened, waiting for some automated message to chime in. Instead, what I heard on the other end was a peculiar electrical static sound, very similar to the static my sleep app picks up at night. After about a minute, the static stopped, and there was silence. I kept listening. I heard what I thought was breathing, but
okay,
it was
that's
so
fucking creepy. I think that's creepy, but it's not David.
faint I can't be sure. My heart was racing, so it was hard to hear. And then, just as I was about to hang up, I heard a very small voice whisper hello.
Oh, God.
Something about the way they said hello freaked me out. It wasn't a question or a greeting. Just hello. A flat statement. So quiet I could barely hear it. I panicked and hung up.
Oh, not like a hello? Like, hello. Oh, that would scare the fuck out of me. If you're like awake in the middle of the night and you hear hello. Or not, no, that's kind of a greeting. Hello. Hello is like question. Hello. Hello. Some shit like that. Now that's scary.
I didn't know what else to do. I closed all the curtains in my apartment and turned on every single light. I watched TV until dawn because I was too scared to go to sleep. I sort of feel like I'm losing my mind. If I look at each individual incident on its own, there are perfectly logical explanations for everything. But after 3 weeks of weird shit happening, I don't know how to make sense of it all. The only thing I feel like I can do right now is to write everything down, so that's what I'm doing and what I'll keep doing. August 28th. So I moved the green chair out of the bedroom.
Why don't you just throw the fucking green chair out, right? IQ play, right? Get rid of it. Get rid of the fucking chair.
A few weeks ago. It's been in various parts of the living room ever since. I should probably get rid of it, but I'm not sure that would have any effect.
I think it would.
Also, I'm going on vacation to Japan in 3 weeks, and I keep thinking if I can make it to my trip, this will all end, as dumb as that sounds. David lost track of me when I moved, so maybe if he believes I've left the apartment again, he'll leave me alone. Anyway, last week I
oh my god, imagine he sees him in Japan.
bought a pet monitoring camera so I can keep an eye
I
on
would
the
start burning my clothes and shit. I would think he was like attached. Right, because aren't ghosts, like, on something? That's usually what people say. Like, ghosts are attached to some sort of item or some shit. Person went for the sub. Maybe I watched too much Supernatural.
It's basically a nanny cam that connects to Wi-Fi so you can check in whenever you want. It runs 24/7. It also alerts you to sound and movement via an app. I blacked out the company since I doubt they want to be associated with ghosts. In any event, I decided to test it out this weekend. I was away from home one night, so I set up the camera before I left. My phone pinged periodically through the evening, alerting me to the cats running around and playing. Normal stuff. Then at around 11, it alerted me again that it detected
Somebody redeemed Dent? Bro.
motion, but when I checked the feed of my apartment, I didn't see anything. So I watched the feed again. Still nothing. I watched it a third time and finally noticed something.
Bro, are we gonna see David?
Watch the chair.
Oh! Oh my god, it's rocking. See, that would scare the fuck out of me. Like, that's no wind or some shit. That's just fucking moving. Oh, that is fucking terrifying. Oh, and that stopped?
I knew it couldn't be the wind because I hadn't had the windows open at all this summer. I have AC and I like to keep it chilly. It was unnerving, but there wasn't anything I could do about it right then.
Is there, like, a logical explanation to that, though?
About half an hour later, I got another motion alert. Here's the feed from that alert.
I mean, what's the motion this time? What was that?
If you missed it the first time like me, look above the shelf. It's a little turtle shell that I hung on the wall. Yes, I know it's weird to own a turtle shell, but my family lives in Montana and I picked it up last year at a native trading post. Since I've been back home, I've been too nervous to turn the camera back on and
Are you fucking kidding me? Too nervous to turn the camera back on. I would be dying to know what the fuck this thing is.
That said, I feel really uneasy. I put the chair in the hall. I hope nothing else happens tonight. So I'd like to take a second to break from the narrative and point something out. Shortly after this, Adam posts again stating that the blue chair you see in the far right disappears in the second clip. He gets up to check and it seemingly reappeared without explanation. Not too long after, Adam posts again. This time stating that he'd made a mistake and that the chair never disappeared in the first place and only appeared to do so due to a shift in lighting.
Yeah, it's still there.
Now, the thing is, I did say
Brooks just said I'm taking a Zanny and going to bed. This man is fucking freaking out.
Stating that he'd made a mistake and that the chair never disappeared in the first place and only appeared to do so due to a shift in lighting. Now, the thing is, I did say to just take this as a story, but naturally one has to wonder if this is 100% staged or simply the product of an overactive imagination. This mistake, of course, would suggest the latter, but a few things coming up later appear to contradict that. September 5th. It's happening again. I've been leaving the Nanny cam on 24/7. It records every time there's movement or sound, as you know. I was going over the feed from this weekend and noticed some weird stuff. During the night on Saturday while I slept, it recorded the cats in the living room. It seemed pretty unremarkable at first. But then, after a few moments, Maxwell freaks out and jumps over something invisible.
Oh, they're fucking... Jumps over something invisible. I mean, cats are skittish. What is he gonna jump over, though? Dude, it could have been like a bug. I'm literally moving.
I don't think
I'm literally moving,
it was
bro.
a bug or anything.
The fucking...
Maxwell...
Are we not talking about the goddamn mug that move?
He just eats them. Something spooked him. What's more, I almost never get bugs. I've seen maybe 3 in all the years I've lived here. Anyway, the next night the camera recorded a...
Rewind! You didn't see that, chat? The fucking mug moves.
Bugs. I've seen maybe 3 in all the years I've lived here. Anyway, the next night the camera recorded a couple more strange videos.
You could have had a string on it. Like every part of me doesn't want to believe it.
Specifically, it recorded Maxwell doing this on and off for hours. He'd sit up on his hind legs and peer around the room as if looking for something, or looking at something. This is odd behavior for him, and I can't come up with an explanation for it. Especially because of the next video. Here's the final video the camera recorded that night.
Bro, that man is standing like a person. Nah, it looks like he's looking for a bug.
I suppose there's a chance it was a fly, but I honestly never get flies, so that seems unlikely. I just can't shake the feeling that something has made its way into the
face cam, you guys couldn't see it? Oh shit, he just stands up and it looks like he's kind of looking around the room.
I suppose there's a chance it was a fly, but I honestly never get flies, so that seems unlikely. I just can't shake the feeling that something has made its way into the apartment. It is odd behavior from Maxwell in any event. Things feel off this week. I can't explain it. September 11th. Every night before bed, I go through the same routine. I feed the cats, brush my teeth, and lock every single one of these 3 locks on my door because I'm paranoid. Don't ask why my door has 3 different working locks, plus what looks like the remainder of a break-in. I'd prefer not to dwell on it. Anyway, the other night I was getting ready for bed as normal. I went into the kitchen to get some cat food. I hadn't even gotten to the pantry when I heard a loud crack. It's better to just watch the video since the Nanny cam records everything now.
I mean, like, it's weird that something fell over, but, like, I've had that happen. Oh, yeah, but that was, like, a weird topple. Nah, he just looks like he's fucking acting. He just looks like he's fucking acting. Look at that dumbass. Fucking, oh, what was that?
At first, I thought maybe it was one of the cats who'd knocked it over, but they were both in the bedroom.
That honestly made me fucking believe this is entirely fake. Just how he acted there. I would be fucking skitzing.
My whole house shifts and shakes every now and then.
Somebody already need flex. Alexis for 3, look up pics of Dear David. It's creepy. Daddy for the sub. Daddy for the 3-inch bitty. They have pictures of Dear David. Well, I mean, we already saw the drawings if you're referencing that. This is not an actual image. It's supposed to be, like, a rendering of what it would look like. Bro, like, like, that does not look like that, dude. This looks like somebody bit a fucking chunk out of his head.
Then, which could explain this. I always get in my head making excuses for whatever's happening. I'm still skeptical. But now every little sound freaks me out. I leave for Japan in 2 weeks and...
Brother still hasn't left for Japan? I thought he already left and came back.
September 16th. I've been having so many nightmares lately. They're way more intense than my usual dreams, too. I don't know if it's because I'm stressed or if it's something else. This afternoon I took a nap and I had a dream I haven't been able to shake. In the dream, I was lying in bed and rolled over to face the other direction. On the pillow next to me was a severed head with a bloody spine attached, snaking down the bed. The head was staring right at me, somehow still alive. It had this huge smile plastered on its face. Horrified, I screamed, "What happened to you?" The head smiled even bigger. "It feels great," the head groaned. After that, I woke up. It was dark outside by then. Everything was quiet. Other dreams have been just as strange. Things like dark figures staring in my windows even though I live on the 2nd floor. Stuff that makes no sense in relation to what I've been experiencing in real life. After that dream about the head, I've been feeling uneasy all night. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I decided to go for a walk, if for no reason than to just get out of my apartment. I went a few blocks away to get a snack. On the way, I had to pass the warehouse that was boarded up a few weeks ago. I hurried past it since it freaks me out now. When I passed the warehouse a second time, I heard a dull thunk from the other side of the shutters. I froze in place, but there was no other sound after that. I probably should have continued on, but curiosity got the better of me.
He might just be schizophrenic. I don't think he's fucking schizophrenic. I'm putting this in 1.25.
Window next to the doors, about a foot above my head, too high to see into. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna hold up my phone to the window, take one photo, and then run for my life. I made sure my flash was on, positioned my camera lens through one of the grates, and snapped a photo. I almost thought I saw movement when the flash went off, but I couldn't be certain.
Probably just a homeless man squatting in the fucking warehouse.
It bounced off the grates and was pretty blinding. I couldn't even look at the photo. I just ran all the way home. I was too jumpy to even look at it for a while.
Bro said I ate my Doritos nervously. What a good addition to the story there.
When I finally did look at the photo, here's what I saw. It seemed to be a different part of the warehouse. maybe an office. There was a bunch of old insulation and what looked like a filing cabinet and a ripped-up leather desk chair. Then I noticed something else, in the upper right corner. Something that looked like a face. The more I stared at it, the more it started to look like a nondescript blur. Now I can't even be sure what I'm seeing. Maybe I'm too deep into this and my brain wants to see David when he's not there. But here, I messed with the filters on my phone a bit.
Like, that literally looks like nothing.
Tell me this doesn't look like him.
It doesn't look like him.
September 22nd.
What? Nah, this man's skitzing now. That shit is crazy.
The past few days I've been trying to avoid anything weird before my trip. I still feel like all this might stop if I just leave for a couple weeks. Whatever happens, I want to thank everyone for their kind thoughts and concerns. This whole ordeal has been stressful and it means a lot. It makes me feel like I'm not going through this alone. See you in a couple weeks. October 2nd. It's my last full day in Japan. The past couple weeks have been pretty peaceful. I have people taking care of the cats and they say they've been doing fine. This morning, I went for a long walk around Sapporo. I never really plan my vacations. I like to just wander a lot and see what I find. I came across this statue in a park. I couldn't find any real since it's cylindrical.
I don't give a fuck! Bro, coincidence. Coincidence.
October 14th. Weird things have been happening with the electricity in my apartment this week. First, 2 bulbs have burned out in the hallway in less than a week. At this point, I've just left it alone rather than get a ladder again. But the strangest thing has to do with the backlight on my TV. It's an LED strip that plugs into the TV itself via USB. The TV has to be turned on in order for the
I mean, you asked David 3 questions fucking 3 months ago, bro. I feel like he would have killed your dumb ass by now.
But last night, the backlight was flickering on and off by itself. I noticed it just before dawn when I woke up and went into the kitchen to get some water. I'd barely gotten back into bed again when I saw a faint light come on in the living room. After a few seconds, it went dark again. I went back into the living room and stood there watching the backlight go on and off for at least a few minutes. It was bizarre. Eventually it stopped, and now the backlight doesn't work at all. It's only a couple months old, so it shouldn't be dead already. Anyway, I couldn't go back to sleep, so I went to a diner near my apartment. It was the only thing open at 4 a.m. When I got back
I was
home,
going to a Denny's at 4 a.m. Yeah, let me get a Grand Slam. I'm having a rough day today.
the sun was starting to come up, so I figured I might as well shower and go into work early. I showered and brushed my teeth, then went into the bedroom to get dressed. As I passed the front door, I thought I heard a faint scratching sound from the other side. It was so soft I wasn't sure if it really had happened. I went over to the door, but was too scared to look through the peephole. I couldn't bring myself to actually put my face that close to the sound, so I opted to take a photo through the peephole instead. Since there's a skylight just outside my door, the hall was awash with a faint yellow-green light. I snapped a couple photos. At first, the pictures didn't seem like anything. Just blurry nothingness. But as I analyzed it, I started noticing things. Part of a face. An ear and an eye staring right back at me.
Dude, like, it's getting more and more unbelievable, dude.
First, I had a friend come over to do some cleansing stuff. She did the whole apartment and the hallway. A lot of self-proclaimed professional mediums have reached out, plus about a dozen ghost hunter TV shows. I've declined all of them because I don't really want strangers in my house sensationalizing what's going on. So, instead I had a friend come over and cleanse the place. For about a week or so, it seemed to have worked. Things appeared back to normal. The cats weren't gathering at the door anymore, and I stopped having dreams. It was starting to seem like it was all over. Then, one morning last week, I was walking to work and passed the shuttered warehouse as usual. This time, all the metal doors were wide open, sunlight pouring in. The warehouse was still mostly empty. Except for one thing.
The chair!
There was a hearse parked near the back wall.
Oh, shit.
The warehouse has been closed for over 2 months. I have no idea why it was open that.
Bro, but that has nothing to do with it. See, now that's actually getting into, like, you're fucking freaking yourself out, bro. That's like thinking other people are gonna kill you.
It was weird, but I tried not to think about it. It's not all that strange to see a hearse, I guess.
It's
like,
not.
they have to park somewhere. Nothing else happened, didn't see anything. There's a window in the kitchen which looks out onto the same roof, and someone was standing on the roof, staring at me.
Okay, see, now we're getting into some scary shit.
I immediately ducked down. I reached up and flicked off the light switch. I peered out the window, but still couldn't see much. My phone was in my pocket, so I grabbed it out and took a photo. It was blurry and dark, but I swear someone was out there. I tried to take a better photo, but the figure had disappeared. I closed all the blinds and made sure the door
Bro, that looks like the kid.
was locked, then drank like 5 more beers until I was too drunk to be scared. Now I feel like I'm back at square one.
Yeah, on God, bro. Adam got that liquid courage. Moby Dickhead ain't taking fucking shit from anybody.
He's not going away, and I don't know what to do. November 6th. It's been about 4 months since the first time I dreamed of David. This might be long, but stick with me. Last night I dreamed about him again. It was almost exactly the same as the first time I saw him. In the dream, I saw him in a chair again. I don't have the green chair in my room anymore. This time it was a recliner I've had for years. He was staring right at me, just like the first time. Again, I felt paralyzed and could barely move. But this time something was different. I still felt mostly immobile, but I could squirm just a little bit. I felt more alert. I could move my hands somewhat. David glared at me, and I dreaded what I knew was coming. He was going to get out of the chair and come at me, like before. I had to do something. I keep my phone next to me on the bed, and I somehow managed to get a hold of it. I thought, if David is going to kill me, maybe I can at least get evidence on my phone. I started snapping pictures in the dark. Sure enough, he crawled down from the chair and began shuffling towards me. He moved slowly, like it was a struggle for him.
Bro, he's taking pictures in his dreams?
I felt terrified, but I kept taking photos.
I have never had a phone in my dream, in my entire life.
David limped over closer to me, never taking his eyes off of me. Soon, I was face to face with him. He started muttering something, too quiet for me to understand. I watched as his eyes rolled back in his head until they were all white. I could barely move. I stared in horror as he began crawling up onto my bed, still murmuring something. And that's when I woke up. Same as before. Broad daylight, no trace of David anywhere. It's almost routine now, but it was a dream after all, so I got up, went to work, and after a while the stress of the dream melted away. I wasn't even going to write about this since it wouldn't really be new information, but tonight I noticed something that petrified me. I went into my phone to find a picture from a couple days ago and saw dozens of pitch black photos in my camera roll, all from last night. It's better just to show you. Turn up your brightness because they're pretty dark.
Oh! No. Dude, I don't know if I can believe this. Bro, he was dreaming, but he was still, like, kind of semi-awake.
This is the one that made my heart drop. Usually I can come up with some excuse for what's happening, but I have no logical explanation for this. So now I'm sitting here on my couch, freaking out.
Bro, I always wish I was friends with one of these motherfuckers so I could be like, Adam, that shit real? I ain't gonna tell anybody. Come on, that shit fake? Like he would tell his friend. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're never gonna know. He could have been like, yeah, I edited the fuck out of those videos. Bro, that did look creepy as shit, though.
So there you have it. The whole Dear David story up until now. As I said earlier...
That is crazy. That is actually crazy. Bro, there's more updates. Oh, get the fuck out of here. I'm fast-forwarding through this. Bro. Bro, there's no way. There's no way there's more updates.
Seems to be staring straight up at the ceiling. Just staring.
Bro, he got a picture?
Then, suddenly he was there. Standing on the...
What? I downloaded an app that takes a photo every 60 seconds, set my phone on top of a bookcase.
Now, the vast majority of them were me sleeping in an empty room. It's sort of dark, but you can see me sleeping. I'd left a couple lights on just in case anything showed up, but for the first 100 or so photos, it was just me in an empty room. Then, suddenly he was there, standing on the chair at the foot of the bed, staring at me. In the next photo from a minute later, he seems to be staring straight up at the ceiling, just staring. Then he appears to collapse on the chair. The next dozen photos are all the same. He's completely lifeless. At first I thought he was dead, which obviously doesn't make any sense. I looked over at the chair, half expecting him to still be there, but it was empty. But then, in the next photo, he's gone. The room was totally empty again. He's gone over the next several photos, too.
Bro, this is so creepy, though.
About 15 photos later, he was back, standing next to the bed. It was just like the last time I saw him. That's when my heart started to race. I didn't want to look at the rest of the photos, but I knew I had to. I swiped to the next photo, and my heart sank into my stomach. He was on the bed, inches from me, staring down at me sleeping.
It just looks at it.
The next one was worse. In the next photo, he's staring right at the camera. After that, there's seemingly nothing. He disappears again, and the rest of the scroll is just me alone in my room again. That is, until the last photo.
Yo, they should make this into a fucking movie.
January 2nd. So I've been away from the city for a couple weeks. I went home to Montana for the holidays, and almost immediately I started to feel better. Less tired, less foggy.
That's real? I don't know, man.
Up until now.
Like,
I
I
haven't
really can't tell because I don't know how it would look edited or not.
entertained the thought of moving,
Just Caden for the 377 day one of donating till he unbans me.
thinking that David would probably just follow me wherever I go. But when I left for Montana, everything seemed to improve.
Somebody
Like,
proved it was fake? How?
maybe David wouldn't follow me after all.
I just want to see more of the fucking screenshots.
I don't know
dude.
what to do. I'm
That's
at a
him
loss here.
fucking laying on him. Bottomless mimosas.
And that was that. But the next day, I had a zillion messages about the third photo I posted. People, I can't make any sense of what's happening with my face. Maybe I can. I know what it looks like, what it probably is, but I don't know if I care anymore. I just really want things to be normal. What happened? It looked perfectly fine on my phone when I uploaded it.
Like, bro, ugh. I need an update, yo. I'm a Google Moby_dickhead on Twitter. Oh, he lives in Japan now. Oh, and I can't look at it because I'm not signed into fucking Twitter. Well, even if I do sign in, I already reached my fucking Twitter limit. We're gonna call that there. That was a good story, though. I don't know if that was real or not. We're never gonna fucking know.